Does it matter? Well, let me put my mic on. People be doing the mics like this now. Let me see how I look on the screen. What more can I say? Maybe I got the wrong. Do I got the wrong camera on? Let me check the settings. Okay, the MacBook is the camera. That's the wrong camera. Now we cooking with grease. Let's check the audio. Yeah, we need that. Okay, now we cooking with grease. Man, that's a big difference. What's up, world? It's your boss, International Zoe. Happy Father's Day. Peace and blessings. I hope y'all have a wonderful Father's Day. I just want to kick with y'all a little bit, on some Sunday sermon-ish. All positive, though. We're going to keep it positive. DJ Maggie, Omaji. Thank you, brother. I hope I said it right. If not, my apologies. You know how they say, no disrespect, no disrespect. Let me just see how I'm looking. Bam, 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 bam. Charles Jones. Today is Father's Day, isn't it? Or am I tripping? You're not a father, you don't know? Rasta Newt was good. Happy Father's Day. Willie McDaniel, happy Father's Day. What up, Ron? Andre Thomas, blessing good mornings to you. Charles said, wait, today is Father's Day? JM. Hey, Zoe. If you are hopping from country to country year round, how do you assume your responsibility as a father? Money is not all. Oh my God. My kids are grown, dogs. When your kids is grown, I don't have little kids. My kids are grown. 20, my son is gonna be 26 next month, and my daughter's 24. But I don't have to explain that to you. It's not something that I feel like I need to explain. But anyway, thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. Um, oh, how do I want to start this? Give me a second. I want to start by explaining the title, kind of like, of the video, right? Sorry, I'm getting text and stuff while we're here, while I'm doing this because it's Father's Day. Um, okay, a legacy of influence refers to the lasting impact or effect an individual has on future generations, shaping values, behaviors, or developments over time. So that we on the same page. Rosette, what's good? Watching from Kenya. So the legacy of influence, because people always say, my legacy, my legacy, that's like the new thing that everybody says. Like, let's unpack this. Everybody uses this legacy thing. That's the new it word. What's up, Jules? Shout out to you. But a legacy of influence could be more impactful than just your legacy, right? For example, Martin Luther King's legacy of influence for civil rights, nonviolence, and everything else he stood for and fought for. That was his legacy of influence. It influenced generations to come. You could say the same thing for Malcolm X. You could say the same thing for a lot of people. So, as a father, it's important, and it's a, if you think about it, it could definitely impact your future of your generations and others. Like, you don't necessarily have to be a father to leave a legacy of influence, like a father figure, you know? And it could also be a granddad, it could be an uncle, it could be a mentor. That's like a father figure to you. So let's talk about it. What's y'all legacy of influence that y'all want to leave, and maybe who left one on you guys? I think my legacy of influence, although it's not done for my children, has been for them to watch their father. They grew up their whole life watching their father build, watching their father work for himself, be an entrepreneur, be a boss, be a provider, be a leader of their family, which kind of make gives my gave my children this entrepreneur spirit. Like they will move from, they always want to move from working to owning and operating their own business. Like my son, he went in, he got a job with UPS. Then he moved to the next level as getting his CDL. Now he's driving for an independent company, state to state. And his next move is to own his own rig, to set up his own side business, to make money for himself, to set up his own business that makes money for himself. Like my daughter, she went to beauty school, she got her license. Although she works in makeup, hair and makeup, she worked in all those stores, the Mac store, all of the ones in Macy's. She's moving towards owning her own salon and her own business. So my legacy of influence on my children, even probably my some of my nieces and nephews, is to be an entrepreneur, of course, to be positive. Part of my influence is also to be travelers, because my children, I know they travel. They're open to travel because they've been traveling from a young age, So, and I'm sure I've had that legacy of influence on a lot of people who come in my path regarding just being a owner, business owner, barbershop owner, several barbershop owners, and from people working in my stores, they have gone on to open up their stores. My brand Levels Barbershop will, it's going to be one of those brands that goes down, and that's remembered. Like me growing up, even though I don't think there's any more Jerry's Den left in New York City, like Jerry Den left the legacy of having one of the biggest chains of barbershops in New York. My barbershop Levels will have done the same thing. Uh, Daryl's World. My dad's entrepreneurial spirit has passed on to me, and most of my brothers produce men that make millions. And I want to see my son and my brother's sons want to be their own boss. I sent you a $50. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, it's just like Daryl, his father's influence, legacy of influence was entrepreneurship. And I think I had that same, I've had, and I will have that same impact on my children and, some of my family members. So yeah. So y'all tell me some about some of y'all's and what y'all wanted to be. And how important a father is in that picture, you know what I mean? Like mothers are more nurturing. You remember your mother, and mothers are big influences as well. We're not gonna front about that, but today is Father's Day, and we all know the importance of having a father. Most people have their mother. If anything, most children or most kids are going to grow up with their mother. And it's unfortunate that less grow up with their father. and have that impact. That have that impact. Yeah, yeah. Remember Jerry's dad? See, he left a legacy of influence. He influenced me to do a chains of barbershops. So his legacy of influence. I know his daughter. He left his daughter one of the brownstones in Harlem or something, where she had a salon and a barbershop. But his legacy of influence influenced me to do a chain of barbershops. And I think he told me the most shops he had was 10. And the most shops I ever opened was 11. So he influenced me to take it one step up, no doubt. I don't know if y'all can hear it because I got the mic on, but do y'all hear the water in the background? Put a one up if you can hear the water. Even though I know these mics don't pick up everything. My dad and stepdad had the most influence in my life. Jamel, for sure, man. Charles Jones, even though my dad stopped being in my life at 10, he taught me the importance of financial security. Didn't have to worry about starting a business, starting a GoFundMe when he passed because he had taken care of. Yeah, I get it. Oh, yeah, I can hear the water. All right, cool. Y'all want to see it? Y'all want to see it? I knew that was gonna come where you at. I don't know if I'm gonna tell y'all that, but I could let y'all see it. I could let y'all see it. I could let y'all see it. Y'all see what's in the background? Oh, I went too far. Let me go this way. Y'all see it, right? Y'all see it, right? Where that at? Where's that at? Like my man, what's his name? Uh, what's his name? Shout out to I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use his clip. Shout out to Craig Mack. How he said in his song, "It's been 3 years since your last tear. Now I reappear. Your heart pumps fear to your gut. Get your girl's butt. Shake this, scrape this. Now she won't stuck." What up, Flip? I tried to hit Flip up last night, but he was sleeping already. He in the gym being Bobby Brolick. Yes, I'm in the Sioux. It's been a long time. It's been 3 years. I had a little time. I need to stay close to the states because I got to go back and forth. And man, a good brother that I know, because I know good people. People show me love. A good brother that I know said, "Hey man, I'm gonna be out of town. You can stay in my spot." Hey, you know what I'm saying? Zoe gets love like that. So shout out to my brother. I know he don't want to be named, but shout out to my brother. Happy Father's Day. You say, "Yo, Zoe, my joint is free. Go ahead and stay in my spot." For real? Yeah. So I'm here relaxing. I miss the Dominican mangoes. I feel you. I just wanted to come back because everybody said, "Why you don't go back to the Sioux? You never go back to the Sioux. You ain't got no love for the Sioux." I was like, "Man, I got love for the Sioux," and the time was right. It's actually excellent because shit, man. My man said, I said, I hit my boy up, say, "Yo, what's a good place to stay? I ain't been there in a long time." He said, "Yo, man, you can stay at my crib. I'm out of town." Just like that. You know what I'm saying? Love is love. So yeah, man, I'm gonna stop by. What you got on the grill today, Flip? I'm gonna stop by Flip Flops today. Go to the beach. Maybe I have me a taco or something. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good food that I haven't had down here. I ain't had one of those big red snappers. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had one of those in a while with some rice and condules. I ain't had one of flip flop tacos. You know, shout out to my man King's Roombas. He doing something for the Father's Day tonight, so I'm gonna go down there. I think he got a little bit of entertainment for Father's Day. Oh yeah, and the girls. I mean, what's so funny? I haven't been here in so long, but I when I was out last night, I'm like, Dominican Republic got some of the most like almost like I don't know, like like if they did a caricature of a woman with a big butt, like Dominican girls' butts is so big, whether they got it worked on or whether it's natural, they're so big that it almost looks like unreal, like a caricature of a big butt woman. Like the girls was walking around last night. I was like, I've been to Africa, a few African countries, and the girls in Africa butt ain't even that big, man. I'm like, they butts is so big, it's unbelievable here, yo. But anyway, that's getting off the topic. Yeah, it looks crazy, yo. Sin City, what up? Sin City, happy. Well, I don't think he. Oh, yeah, you said you a father. Happy Father's Day, Larry J. Yeah, they look so big. It's like I was looking last night, like Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. I don't know what they got in them rice and that them plantains, but I guess that's why black men love the Dominican Republic. They ain't never leaving the DR. What difference did I notice? I don't know because I got here last night. So I just walked down the Roombas and shout out to King. He seen me. He said, "Yo, you ain't been here in like 5 years." So I was like, "Nah, it's been 3." Sat down, had me a little some wings, some fries, had me one of them the mixed drinks he got up to pay. He blessed me. That was like, nah, the boss took care of your bill. See the love I'm getting? Everything is looking good so far. Yeah, the weather is warm. I was just in Lima, y'all know it was winter time, so it was getting cold. But right here, my man spot, they got the private beach, they got the pool. So I'm about to have a good time, man. Of course I'm still gonna go to Sasua Beach, but they got the beach right here and the pool. Let me see if I can lift this up. Yeah, you see that? They got the private beach right here. I'm about to walk out there. You know, I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. Uh, never been. You think that's still a good place? Well, like my man Travel Wolf, he's supposed to come through. I would say if you never been to Dominican Republic, you gotta come once, man. You gotta mark it off. You know what I'm saying, on your list of things to do. If you've been here 1,000 times, okay, you ain't gotta come back. If you're tired of it, you ain't gotta come back. But if you've never been here, I think you should experience it at least once. You know what I'm saying? It might not be your cup of tea, it might be, but I think everybody should experience it just once. Like if you go into Brazil, if you go into Colombia, if you go into Thailand, if you go on all these other places, you might as well come to the zoo at least once. You know what I'm saying? You say I can't do Jamel. I can't do DR no more. It's South New York. TG Jackson say Uncle Zoe is right. That's me laughing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it is different from a New Yorker. Like although it's still fun and it's still different from New York, but New Yorkers like me, like I tell people and they be like, oh, New York is messed up DR. I'm like, dogs. The first kiss I had, what they call it, French kiss, was with a Dominican girl. You know, so Dominicans are not anything new to New Yorkers. Like, we didn't come here and was like, oh my God. I dated Dominicans before. I had relationships with Dominicans before I ever even came to the Dominican Republic. So yes, it's the same, it's different but the same. But we are very most New Yorkers are very familiar with Dominicans already. Their culture, the beauty in the women. You know what I'm saying? Of course, being on the island is different, but it's mad Blackinos in New York City. Whether it's mostly Puerto Ricans and black, but then the Dominicans came right along too. It's a lot of Blackinos, so it's not something new per se to a New Yorker. Like back in the days, not now, but because they're Dominicans in Atlanta and everywhere now. But back in the days, I would say when people came from other states, it might have been their first encounter with Dominican women. But for American, I mean, New Yorkers, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? If you from a small town in the South or the Midwest, maybe, just certain places where there weren't any Dominicans or many Latinos. It's like some places you might have had Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, depending where you are. If you was in Texas and stuff like that, maybe your encounter with Spanish speaking people was mostly Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Not Caribbean Spanish speaking people, but New Yorkers, you know, it was in New York, it was like this. In the beginning, we thought they was all Puerto Rican. And then we found out, oh no, I'm Dominican. I'm not Puerto Rican. Like in Colombia, we thought everybody was Colombian. And then we found out, oh no, I'm Venezuelan. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? When I was young, we threw them all together as Puerto Rican until we found out that no, they're Dominican and they're Puerto Rican. Similar. You know what I'm saying? Willie, my nephew is moving to the DR when he retires from the FBI. That's cool. They still selling properties and stuff down here, from what I hear. I'm at the Clearport heading to Peace City. What do you think about Panama? Panama is dope. I like Panama. I keep getting this ring from my phone is connected to my computer. Panama, I had good times in Panama. You know, go to the private islands with the native people, man. That's probably a dope trip to do. Jay Clyde, what's good, my brother? Buck travels. Fathers do the heavy lifting and don't get appreciated. That could be true. It could be true. It could be true. We used to visit family in Washington Heights first. Girlfriend in a Dominican was Dominican, but I thought she was Puerto Rican. See, earn money to expatriate. He knows what I'm saying. He's definitely that's how it went down in the beginning. Charles, no, there's a few Caribbean Spanish people here, especially Puerto Ricans, but yes, it's predominantly Mexicans here in Texas. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know it's probably some Puerto Ricans, but I might not have hit the nail on the head with all the states, but I'm pretty sure the impact of the Dominican Republic and the Dominican women was different for people from different places who never encountered Dominicans like on a regular basis, like we did. Like I was in fourth grade when I kissed a Dominican girl, and it was my first French kiss. I was in fourth grade, so that's how long I've been dealing with Dominican women or black women or Puerto Rican women and mixing men, you know? So yeah, but that probably didn't happen for certain people in certain places. And they came to the Dominican Republic and they was like, like dudes from like a lot of dudes started coming here from Canada, right? A lot of dudes came here, started coming here from London. You know, that was probably their first encounter with Dominican women. I'm not saying for certain, but I'm saying on average, there's not a large Dominican community in certain places in the world outside of like the big places like America, New York, and So yeah, here in Chicago, it's more Mexican and Puerto Ricans, with a few Dominicans mixed in. Yeah, that's probably now in 2020. But I'm saying, how was it looking in these places? Let's say in 1980. How many Dominicans did you run into in the 80s? DC had a few Dominicans, but the most populated Hispanic group here are Salvadorians. Okay, so it's different. DC has a big Dominican community now, though. They probably got a big Dominican community now. Because I know some Dominicans from New York that live in DC now. The Mexican women in the States and the ones in Mexico look different. Yeah, they got different diets. Puerto Ricans, butter, pecan, caramel skin. Earn money to expatriate. Philadelphia have a lot of Dominicans. Arlington, yeah, yeah, yeah. True, but not like tri-state. Do a late night thirst from Roombas. Come on, you already know how they feel about cameras here in the DR. That's why I said this is my vacation because I don't think I'm going to be doing no filming unless I find a nice girl who's not in the life who doesn't mind being on camera. That has happened a few times for me out here, but we have to see. We have to see. That Cape Verdean threw me off when I was in Rhode Island. They got a big Cape Verdean community there. Dominican barbershops everywhere in the DM. Yeah, the Dominican barbershops took over everywhere. Everywhere. They've been took over the tri-state area. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. QB passport flexing set. Mexicans are shared like fridges. Oh, shaped like fridges. You put shared though. Not all of them. Boston too, yeah. Boston got a decent amount of Brazilians too. Yeah, Amber Rose, I think her dad is Cape Verdean or something like that. Yeah, don't even bother pulling the camera out. There's usually the yeah, because even Ray said no YouTubers. You know how Ray likes to be on the mic. He was like, no YouTubers, no this, no that. So I wouldn't disrespect somebody's place. Yeah, Juba. How much is a haircut going for in New York? I don't know, but it's probably between $30 and $50 now. You back in the suit? Do you plan on trying out other cities in the DR? I would love to, but it's the complications of getting there. Okay, so I have a question, right? If I want to, and this is the other thing, I'm staying here for free. So if I go somewhere else, I got to spend money. I'm staying at my man's spot for free. So if I go somewhere else, I got to spend money. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably better that I just sit my ass here and relax, right? All I got to do is pay for food. Maybe a little you understand me if I'm feeling frisky. You know what I mean? A cut go for 45 in California. Yeah, it went up everywhere, man. It is what it is. So this is the problem. Y'all tell me. There is no flight from Puerto Plata to Punta Cana, right? You better hope flying back to Miami to get to Punta Cana, right? Now I know the bus ride from Puerto Plata to Santo Domingo might like 5 or 6 hours, right? But you also got to be careful of you can't bring your big luggage because they might take your luggage. So you got to bring a small enough bag that you can sit in your lap with you on the bus. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. So I would like to go to Punta Cana because I was debating that. But once my boy say, man, stay at my spot, I was like, I guess that answers my question. You know what I'm saying? Just call me Brian. In Los Angeles, it was always Mexican since the borders of Mexico. However, Mexicans have many groups of European, like ones to brown, short, Native American ones that what you have seen. Okay, yeah, we know that for sure. Jesse Shorts, yeah, it was. cost if you move around in the DR. Gotta drive or take a bus, which is long. Yeah. So yeah, Santo Domingo is 5 hours. I would have to take the bus. I wouldn't want to drive. They won't take your luggage, LJ. Well, I've heard those rumors before that people luggage had gotten taken. Happy Father's Day, Zoe. Where you at? Hold on. I thought I put this on vibe. Where you at? Built views. I'm in the soup. Soup, 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 soup. A lot of people ask me. TMI asked me, when you going back to the zoo? I'm here, TMI. In the streets with Keith asked me, what's up with the zoo? You ever going back? I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really only on the dark black hair and dark skin ones in California. Okay. AM collecting that. So how many y'all getting calls for Father's Day? Y'all getting taken out for lunch or dinner today? What's up with that? Uh, uh, what's up with the Father's Day, man? Y'all feel like put a 1 in the air if you feel like you appreciate it as a father. Put a 2 if you feel like you're not really appreciated as a father and the hard work you put in. T.G. Jackson. Yeah, this Father's Day, both of my dads are not here anymore. Grandfathers are not here. So all I could do is hit up my brothers, friends, cousins, stuff like that. And you guys, you know, I don't actually have a father here to call and say Happy Father's Day. Y'all, some of y'all gonna get to that point one day. It's different. It hit a little different. Like you use your father as usually superior wisdom, like you call on your parents, your mother, your father, for superior wisdom. When you tell them what's going on in your life or something like that, and they usually drop a jewel on you because of their experience. Yeah, you know what I mean? And like you don't really have that. When you get older in age, um, a lot of the people that you look up to that are older than you that you respect, they start, dwindling away. And then you become like the wise sage that has to do more giving of information than consuming. you know. Happy Father's Day. So your pops was God body, right? Yeah, my biological father was God body. Even when Papa Wu was at his funeral from the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. I'm sure my pops converted a lot of dudes into the 5% nation, the nation of gods and earths. But yeah, I just wanted to chop it up with y'all, say Happy Father's Day, let y'all know before the word gets out that I'm back in the soup. AJ, what do you think about this? When will we start talking about how young men should focus on building themselves up financially before traveling? I rarely see that conversation happening. Too many young guys are traveling while broke and immature without working on their future. I've already spoke about that. It wasn't received well, but I definitely did a video about that already, AJR. I definitely did that already. It wasn't received well. Sometimes wisdom is mistaken for hating now. You know what I'm saying? You be trying to enlighten or share information or wisdom, and it gets bogged down with, oh, he just hating. It's that them old niggas is hating. So, what can you do? Did I master my 120? Nah, I didn't master my 120. I can't say because my father, he didn't stay in my life, you know what I'm saying? So, but some of that wisdom, some of that train of thought did stay with me. You know what I'm saying? It did stay with me. But I used to go to the parliaments and the picnics when I was young, you know. I got my seven in the crown, you know what I'm saying? I got my pen, my name. Yeah, wisdom me equal hating old ninjas. It's J. Clyde, you know what I'm saying? What's today's mathematics, dog? What's today? Today is the 15th, 1 5, knowledge power. There's a guy on YouTube, I think he's Puerto Rican, and he makes these skits of like somebody being an 85er, or he's being an 85er, and then a god body always correcting him. His skits are hilarious. His skits are hilarious. East Coast Kev. Happy Father's Day to all. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Premise Direct. .com, man. You can't be like putting your whole .com on here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like self-promoting, man. I took a bus from Sosua to Santo Domingo, not realizing the chicas from Sosua live in Santo Domingo. And when you get off the bus, a family can wait at the bus stop. Mad work, mad girls and chicas. Yeah. I remember the first time I went to Santo Domingo, and I was calling up some people I knew that lived in Santo Domingo, but they was like, I'm in Sosua, baby. I think one joint I knew was in Santa. No, one joint I knew she was in Santo Domingo. No, she was in Sosua, but me and her was super cool. And she was like, I'd rather come back to Santo Domingo and hang out with you for a few days. And that's what she did. Do you know Sinetta from 158th Street? Yeah, I know Sinetta. Sinetta used to sometimes get his hair cut in my barbershop. But you know, Sinetta used to always be out there selling videos and stuff and having debates on her 25th Street. So of course I got to know Sinetta. Everybody knows Sinetta from Harlem. Everybody knows Sinetta. Word. And I used to have all them Dr. York books, all that stuff. Definitely be seeking wisdom, and that became that whole they clown it now and say Hotep movement, but that whole Black conscious movement was really big in New York. It really was super. Like a lot of that came out of New York, you know. They had the mosque from the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation. They spot on 126th Street. You know, if Dr. York used to be out there selling his records when he first came out as a musician. You remember? I remember he was giving out free records. I know Sonetta. I'm originally from Brooklyn. Okay. So you get your master's back, get need an update. What you mean? My master's what? Are you getting married to Peruvian girl? Monty. Ah. Why you ask that, man? I mean, first of all, it's still a beginning stages. I like her. We get along, which is very important. She's patient. She has a sense of humor. So I like her, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know about marriage, you know what I'm saying? I'm an old head, man. That's a lot of responsibility, man. That's a lot of responsibility getting married, man. I did that already. Millbank, 118th Street. Wow. Remember Millbank? I played in a few tournaments in Millbank. My son played in a few tournaments in Millbank. Millbank was something else, man. Boy is bugging. from the record company. Oh, no, we didn't do it yet. We didn't do it yet. We didn't do it. Did you ever go to any speeches at City College? I actually took Dr. Jeffrey's Black Studies course. I think I've been to a speech at City College, or they used to have it at the African something festival. They had a whole building on 125th Street in Madison Avenue. It was called the African Art something. I knew the brother who owned it, or the director, and there was a lot of speeches there. A lot of speeches there. Everybody was there. I forgot the name. It was the Harlem African Center or something like that. A lot of debates were there. A lot of speeches were there. I see Renoko Rashidi there. I mean, they had everybody. Ashra Kwesi, Tony Browder. Zoe used to be into all of that. That whole Egyptology and all that, man. Zoe used to be into all of that. Pardon me while I get I check some of these uh Happy Father's Day and this and that, Shorty sending me videos. Man. When are you going back to Johannesburg? South African women, the most beautiful black women in Africa. Monty, there is no most beautiful. That's all subjective. I saw beautiful women there. I saw ugly women there too, just like everywhere else. To keep it a buck. But I ain't gonna front. It was a lot of bad women in South Africa. I ain't gonna front. Between Cape Town and Joburg, they had some baddies. I ain't gonna front. That was some of the most baddies I seen out. But I ain't been to all this. I haven't. I would say if you've been to 10 to 20 African countries, then maybe you could give a good judgment. But I'm not the one to be like, all right, I only been to 3, 4. I was planning dominoes with girls. I was playing dominoes with girls. The girl's family. Girl said, "Poppy was in Sasua." Everybody stopped playing, and the music was lowered. And brother-in-law said, "Never say Sasua. Everybody in the DR knows about Sasua." Yeah, 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 for sure. Did you ever meet the legend Khalid Muhammad? Yeah, definitely in Harlem. I definitely went to one of his speeches. You ever thought about doing a vlog in Egypt? Egypt is a serious trip. I have videos from Egypt. I never edited them, but I do have some videos that I could put out from Egypt. I even went to a barbershop in Egypt and filmed one of the guys we was with getting a haircut. My boy who moved to Brazil said he bagged the girl and the mom. Word? Any experience with that, or have you heard? I've never done nothing like that. I ain't even gonna lie. Tupac, yeah, I met Tupac outside of Roscoe's in LA. We met him when we had my record deal. We were doing a promotional tour in in California. All the buyers who bought our records in the record stores. It was this white lady. She had a lot of record stores. So our the head of radio and Polydor, his name was Sincere, and we ran into Tupac on our way out of Roscoe's, and we met him. I did get a chance to shake the brother's hand. You late? Rich's method? Yeah, yeah. We just kicking it, man. We just kicking it. Some beautiful Aswan Nubian sisters. Yeah, yeah. Buck Travel. So have you ever thought about automating your video editing work? Yeah, but I'm not making enough bread to be paying somebody to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was at a status of maybe, like Ace or somebody where you making that kind of money off of YouTube and you wanted to put a little 500 of that towards somebody editing your stuff a month or something like that, maybe. I'm all for outsourcing. It just got to make sense. Funny says Ghana got some monsters. Went there, couldn't believe my eyes, the shape of them African sisters. They're sincere, not that sincere. This guy's the radio promotions. But I know what sincere you're talking about from Brand Nubians. Not that sincere. Neek Rush, what up, Neek? Happy Father's Day, my brother. Neek, I might need a beat, man. I need a theme song for my channel now. And I need a beat, man. I need a beat. I might have to write something or get somebody to ghostwrite something for me. YouTube not paying that much. I thought it pays well with the thumbnails. Monty. Now you got to be in YouTube to understand how it works. If you getting those kind of views, like if all your videos is hitting 100,000, 50 to 100,000, you will make some good money. You know what I'm saying? But it gotta hit those numbers, and they gotta be the watch hours. There's a lot of elements that play into the amount of money you make on YouTube. Most YouTubers ain't making no real money. Let's get together and go over it. All right, Nick. Outsourced to the Philippines for pennies on a dollar. This is the problem, Ali the God. You you got to find the right person. I know there's somebody who could do it, but you got to find the right person, and then you got to give them access to the files, and then they got to fit with your personality. And I know it takes time. It takes time. Then people know what you want, know how you like it. But I'm just not at that point. You know, if God was to send me somebody that I connected with, I would do it for sure. If it made sense financially, if it made sense. In Toronto, we have a saying: if it does make money, it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, for sure. Some dudes claim they making plenty of money from YouTube, but to your point, we know that's not true. Yeah, I and travel YouTube is not a sector that makes a lot of money. Finance, other type of things make more money in general. So, but there are some travel YouTubers making a grip. But on average, if you put 20 of your favorite travel YouTubers together and they're black, let's just also say that. Like two of them gonna be making some real money. Maybe three. You know what I'm saying? Could I make more money? Yeah, if I did more late night thirsts, if I did more beach interviews and stuff like that. But I'm tired of doing that. If I was more energetic, excited, I'm sure everything plays better editing, more interesting places to travel. But that shit costs money, man. I've been traveling for like 6 years. It shit costs money. You know, you feel like if you put in more work, if you work harder, if you go more places, that might impact your channel. But it's at a point now, probably like they pick certain people that it's gonna go. Whether I see certain people that went, and it doesn't matter if their videos, if they're doing the same thing or they're doing less than what they were doing, but it seems to stay at the same status. You know, they still seem to get around the same amount of views, the same amount of push. You know, but that's a whole other story. We don't want to get into no YouTube stories. Yeah, Check and Ace are making money, but like I said, out of the group, you know, they probably are only two making some money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe right now, Lord might be making some money, but he's not making the kind of money Ace and Check is making. So he might be right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But if you getting like under 10,000 views on most of your videos, you're not making no money. If you getting 50 to 100 views on almost every video, you could be making some money. And then imagine how many videos you make. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, YouTube becomes a job pretty much. Basically, you just become the owner of your job, at least in my opinion, especially if you really. And if you're doing it for survival, then you better be making some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it for survival. So, maybe I should do it for survival. Keep doing your thing, brethren. Ali the God. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Maybe that's the problem. I don't look at it like that. Ace did a phenomenal job on his video about the black diaspora in Thailand. Yes, he did, and he always does that, and that's something he does well. Shout outs to Ace. Always been an inspiration and a positive one. Jesse Shorts, yeah, okay, yeah. The informal interaction videos in long form are engaging. Mm-hmm. Respect. Happy Father's Day, Zoe. J Mar, happy Father's Day to you, if it applies. And even if you don't have a child, you might be a father figure to somebody. That water's looking good, man. I got to put my feet in that water. I ain't put my feet in the water in a while. I got to get out and put my feet in some water. It's still early though. I got some time. Put on some shorts, walk over to the beach. I don't know if Flip Flop gonna be there today, but I'm gonna stop by Flip Flops. Stop by Mofongo Kings or something like that. But yeah, it's are you hate? No, I'm not Haitian. It's it's looking the same. Quality down a little bit, but I didn't go to the casino last night. I'm getting tired of going to clubs and stuff. So, but does being a baby daddy count? I mean, yeah, I guess so. If especially if you taking care of your kids. Tech and Peck, happy Father's Day, big dog. I lost my pops 2 years ago, and it made me appreciate having one. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Condolences to you. I know how it is. Partner, if the question is redundant, but what made you pull up on the suit? Okay, I got some work going on back at my house in New York, so I can't stay in my house in New York because the work is that much work. It's almost like a rebuild. So I could stay in New York, up where I live, and spend like I stayed in the Airbnb for 1 week up where I live. It was $1,000 for 1 week. I stayed 1 week in Lima. It was $300. So that same thousand could get me three a month almost in Lima. And I'm used to traveling. I travel anyway. So I don't want to be too far because I have to go back soon and work. And, I got to be going back and forth soon to get to the next levels of construction. So I didn't want to be too far away. So I thought about the DRs, close, short, cheap flight. My flight was like 280. I did have to pay $50 for my bag. They didn't include my bag. So I called my boy. I was like, yo, I'm thinking of coming there. Where should I stay? He was like, you can stay at my crib. I'm not here. So, and I was going to stay in Caparete. I was. But my boy said, you can stay at my crib for free. So I said, bet. So, that's another reason why I'm here. That's what sealed the deal. I've seen several prominent YouTubers returning to their previous occupation. What you think is burned out, tired, not making, yeah, probably not making enough money, not making enough money or burned out. Yeah. I started following Ace when he had the big blow up with Check, I believe. They were on live. Yeah. Or is that Cabarete? No, I'm in Sasua. I'm in Sasua. I was going to stay in Cabarete, but I'm in Sasua. But I'm at one of the like private condo things. So they got its own beach. Not that I got a problem with going to Sasua Beach or Playa Alicia, no, but they do have this option. They got a community pool, a community jacuzzi, or a hot tub, or whatever that is. Uh, Big Mo, bro, I think you should be on top of the travel videos. You have the right attitude and never seen fake. Big Mo, I think so too. God damn it. Right to YouTube. TG Jackson, what do you say? Keep helping everyone in your heads up, Uncle International. So thanks for all you do with us. Thank you, brother. What's a good spot to stay in? Cabarete? It's been a long time since I stayed in Cabarete, but they got those like resorts, but sometimes they still rent those places out, like an Airbnb, and right across the street from the beach. I don't remember the name, but when you come into the airport in Sosua, they always got those people there trying to sell you one of those beach resorts, and you go and let them walk you around and tell them, no, I don't want to buy it. But sometimes you get to stay there or spend a day there and get a meal there where you can get to try it out. So I would say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Who are the other travel YouTubers who went back to their 9 to 5? Your thoughts on Costa Rica? I like Costa Rica. Costa Rica is dope, but it's not so much to do. My new number, Jesus Christ. Brazil. Save. But yeah, Atif. Did I say it right? Atif. What up, Zoe? Let me know when you're back in New York, especially in Brooklyn. Let's meet up. Fell in love with Lima because of black men for black men. uh Black chain. You going damn it's like you going to stay up the African chick in Peru? Yeah, I'm not gonna break ties with her because she's super cool. She shouted, she just hit me up. I didn't see the message yet because I'm talking with y'all, but yeah, I'm not gonna push her to the side. I think, of course, I spent way more time with Cammy and chemistry and all that, but Mwaka is dope and she's super cool and super sweet, So, I do I have to make a choice? Have you been to Portugal? Yes, I've been to Lisbon. There's some videos. Look on my channel. I will be in Sasua on Thursday this week, June 19th, till Sunday. Will you still be around, Zoe? TCB World Travel. Yes, I'll be here. So we could connect. I'll be here. Portugal solid, especially Fargo. I never been to Fargo. I only been to Lisbon. I want to go to what's it called? What's the other spot called? Porto. I want to go to Porto. Next time I'm there, I want to go to Porto. The Peru girl Cammy is cool with you being with other girls. I mean, she's not my girlfriend. I'm sure she don't prefer it, but I'm mostly with her, and that's what she should focus on. That's what I would focus on. People worry about other people, but if you know somebody spending a lot of time with you, which means they don't have a lot of time to spend with somebody else, which means they're giving you priority, I think you should run with that instead of focusing on the negative. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't seem to be that way. You know what I mean? But like that's how we all get caught up. You worrying about somebody else. It's one thing if I was like, yo, you my girl, it's just me and you. You know what I'm saying? Time will tell which way I should go. You know what I'm saying? Which direction I should go. And I think it's leading me to a certain way. I think too, because Waka, she don't really have the time. She's in school and she works and she lives like an hour away. You know what I mean? So it's not that, it's I'm just letting things happen, man. Play dog. Zoe a real one. I troll him a little bit, but he don't take it to heart. Plus Zoe will turn up on you. He is cool, but you come at him, he will strike right back. That's true. Shout out to Play Dog. Global Paper Models and Bottles. Where you at, Global Paper? It's great being you. You undefeated. Where you at, man? When we gonna connect, man? I think you did tell me to go to Osaka when I was in Lima, or you told me to go to what's the other big one? That's $300 a meal. But either way, I think you told me to go to Osaka, but that's also Cammy's one of her favorite restaurants. I went and Osaka was amazing, amazing. Everything was good. The food was good. The drinks were good. The atmosphere was good. But you gotta make a book an appointment. You can't. It's hard to walk in there and just get a seat. You're not going to be able to do it, especially not on a weekend. AJR, what is the common source of income from these black travel YouTubers besides or military income, a disability? I don't know. Ace don't have nothing to do with military. Check don't have nothing to do with military. Most guys don't have nothing to do with military or disability. Ace just decided he took a choice and decided to do YouTube. He was working, I think, in like a factory or something, and he's decided to do YouTube. The military guys don't usually do YouTube because they get their military money. There's some, but if you're not making money and you're just doing YouTube, like, okay, put it like this. This is just my opinion. You will see some guys doing YouTube in another country, but they're not really traveling because YouTube might be their main source of income. Then there's guys who travel, who actually travel and do YouTube. So they might be either retired or they dedicated or they have other income coming or they dedicated their entire existence to YouTube. You know what I mean? So it's either or. That's why you see guys sitting at home talking about people traveling and they're not actually traveling themselves because they really don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Skylar is one, but he finally retired, but he wasn't doing a lot of traveling after he got out the military. He was mostly YouTubing from home. And now, then once he retired, you know what I'm saying? It's different. Check just let his camera run and walk through the neighborhoods. No editing, just really live interaction. Yeah. Salute to the chat and the channel. Thank you, Charlie B. Outside, and happy Father's Day. Philly Dom had to go back to work in Alaska. Yeah, Philly did. Nanji, Nanja, Nadija. How you doing? Earn an expire. I'm expatriate, retired military, and school teacher and real estate investor. Damn, can I get some of that bread? Earn money. He wasn't playing when he said the money part. Philly Dom, Penton, Chellis. Zoe, would you recommend traveler to meet Tony Cartagena? Yeah, you could meet Tony. Tony, just tell him you know me and tell him to give you the prices before you get anything. You know what I mean? He'll look out for you a little more if you tell him I sent you. Lima, Peru. Next time, go to Panchitas restaurant. I think I went to Panchitas. I think I went there before. Porto is really good stay. Zoe rich already. Nah, Zoe is not rich. Zoe worked his life, had my barbershops, you know, made my money, and I still live off of my barbershops and a little bit of real estate. Zoe is not rich. Zoe just is at a point of his life where I'm not cutting hair. I don't need to stand around the barbershop and look over people, right? Then my children are grown. I'm divorced. I got a house upstate. I'll be in my house by myself. Now I ain't gonna front though. I met, I went home, so I said, let me hit up a couple joints on Bumble, right? Hit up a couple joints on Bumble. Uh Lael. Did I say it right? Lael Johnson. Peace to Zoe. Happy Father's Day to the black dads out there. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat. Let me finish the story. I meet a nice joint. She live in Albany. Beautiful. My type. Like, so that's when guys be like, oh, America is done with me. I mean, this girl seemed like she got a wonderful personality, feminine, fit. She asked me if I was a passport, bro. She said my cousins warned me about the passport, bro. Oh my god! I told Aaron, don't do that passport, bro. Shit, me. Now you got women in other countries asking you if you have a passport, bro. You got women in America. You know what I'm saying? We still talking. We still been talking. Well, why she had to be like, because I told her I'm going over here. Go, oh, you wanted them passport, bros. I'm like, see this shit? Before this passport, bro, name came out, nobody was saying nothing about me traveling around the world. So y'all know I've been doing it for like since 2018. And nobody has been saying nothing to me until this passport bro name came up, man. Now I gotta be defending that shit. I didn't shit on it. I said, I think people don't really understand what it is. I said, no, I'm not a passport bro. I don't consider myself a passport bro. I'm just a traveler. But it has a negative connotation to it. And I knew that was going to happen, man. You got to be defending yourself with, and Shorty bad. Shorty is bad. I might try, if things go well, I'm gonna go on a date with her. But at Nadija, where you from, Nadija? So you are a passport bro, even if you don't like it. No, I am not. I am not a passport bro. I don't care if you say I am. I'm not. What was I before they came up with the name? Then, if I'm a passport bro now, what was I before they came up with this name like 2, 3 years ago? What was I then? I was a traveler, right? I was a world traveler, and I'm still a world traveler. I'm not a passport bro. Straight up and down. Zoe's videos on how to cut your own hair when you're overseas. Can't find a barber. Oh, is you in Nashville? All right. Thoughts on Austin, Harlem in Kenya? I hung out with them when I was in Kenya. I ain't got nothing. Listen, for the most part, y'all ain't gonna really catch me saying nothing negative about anybody on camera. Number one. Number two, everybody is their own man, and what you do and what you say, like I say, you got to stand by your work. What somebody else says, that's what he said. What he said. What somebody else does, he did what he did. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You gain followers off of Passport Bro support. I don't know about that. I gain followers because I put out good work. I gain followers because I put beautiful women. I might have inspired some people to be Passport Bros or consider themselves a Passport Bro, but man, don't be trying to put me in the box, dogs. I'm a traveler. Their ideology is to go overseas to find more feminine women, use them. Listen, I don't need all of that. I have fit feminine women in America, and if I want a fit feminine woman anywhere I go, that's what I'm gonna get. Or I don't have to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep saying, man, Zoe ain't never had no problems with the ladies. Juice. Zoe Cammy's on point, and Yummy Six. That's intelligent and cooperative. That's all one needs. The African lady in Lima seemed very cooperative as well, just more reserved. Yeah, yeah, for sure. We gallivanting out this bitch. Tell him, Charlie. I'm a global gallivanter, man. I ain't no passport, bro. Listen, okay, let me tell you this. Most passport bros, in my opinion, I don't want to turn this into a passport bro thing. Most passport bros been to under 10 countries. Okay. Most passport bros been to the big four, mostly and only. You might be able to throw Costa Rica in there, you might be able to throw Panama in there, Philippines or Thailand, but it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Ain't no passport bros going to places I've been. So don't try to put me in the passport bro movement. I'm not. If you're on your third or fourth passport, you're not a passport bro. Exactly. I'm actually gonna have to get my fifth passport because I have 4 pages left in my passport, and I got 5 years left. And okay, I don't want to be all this and all that, but stop trying to make me a passport bro. I have a I have an investment property in another country. Okay, that's not passport bro. That's boss movement. That's entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? USA, our top 5 in the world for beautiful women. Brothers are boxing out of their league. Brothers need to get realistic perspective. Stay in your lane. 50K a year is not getting you a dime. Global paper. Why are you always shitting on people? True that. Whatever, Passport Zoe. I'd rather be Passport Zoe than Passport Bro. Yeah, boss ish. Dog, listen, what's your name? God's gift to the road. If you want to be a passport, bro, wave the flag, ninja. You ain't gotta make me one. If you love them and you want to be one, raise the flag. That what is your obsession with trying to make me one because you are one? That's backwards thinking, dogs. And just because you say I am, I mean that definitely doesn't make me one. I was actually gonna name myself Passport Zoe, but I thought it was corny. So I changed to International Zoe. Yeah, Passport Bro could mean mongering. Do probably 23 with one country under his belt. Damn, y'all making me miss all my texts, man. I got to get back to some of my texts and my Happy Father's Day and other things that I got going on over here. How long we been on here for? An hour. Okay, we did a good hour. Any final thoughts? Jamel around the world, dude, probably. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would be disrespectful to myself and my years of traveling to try to label it now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't label me after y'all had y'all little movement. I was already doing me. Uh, Zogo to Ethiopia in September. You'd love it. I'm actually going in November. SKH. I'm going in November. Is that still a good time to go? Hit the like button. Thank you, Charlie. Hit the where you at, Charlie? It's 150 in the building. I don't know what to do with y'all. That's a nice little number right there. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Yeah, on my third passport. Tell him, Jamel. Shit. Oh, my mother. I'm sorry. That's my mother, y'all. Give me a second. Hi, Ma. Thank you. Yeah, I'm in the Dominican Republic. My friend left. He let me stay at his place. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes. Yesterday. This guy here yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. It's cold there now. I wanted to go back, but it's cold. So I decided to come here. My friend let me stay at his place. So I was like, hey, that's an easy choice to make. Yes, that too. That too. It's good. It's almost phase one is almost done. Yeah. So now I'm down to like just picking who's going to do the reconstruction and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm relaxing. It's what time is it here? It's 11:14. Yeah, this is not only a about it's like a 4.5 hour flight or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mom. Love you. All right. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye. No, I had to answer the phone for Mom Dukes. The brother that went to Japan need to stay out the red light district in Shinjuku, or he will be a lick for the Yakuzas. Bo Fresco. Who you talking about? Ms. Raw. Ms. Raw. I'm on my third trip this year, Thailand in the February, Colombia in April, and now Sue currently. I hear that. Thing he's on Colombia. Japan doesn't run the same. Damn, the Yakuza be out there like that in Japan? Yeah, he even made a video where he's staying. But damn, okay, so there's 130 in the building. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. The good ones and the bad ones. Because guess what? Even if you're a bad father, you got time to be a good one. You can change that around. So still shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind right. There's time for you to, you know, it's probably still time for you to correct that. So do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Show some love, be a leader, take care of your family. Peace.